Ladies, gentlemen, and androids. PodzQuad Network presents to you the one and only PodzQuad. This is the internet's hottest Thursday night variety opinions and late night talk show. Prepare your ear holes and eye sockets for the phenomenal cast of all cast in viewership history. We have comedy, the Ghetto media news, Illuminati 101, eat this, don't eat that, new energy spiritual center insights, business stuff, try to not laugh, ask an expert, questions from the crowd, spooky investigations, the Bible thumper, wrestling, food reviews, and what would you do situations. Stay tuned for the end because we play games that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channels or social media at PodzQuad. Tonight's episode features the prolific, magical, groundbreaking, angel sword swinging Poegosi, aka Sinister Poe of Drunk Wizard Gaming, the Alchemist, Frontline Warrior, Fountain of Creation, Dini Michi aka Houdini Black of iHeartRadio's Vigilantes Radio, the leader of the Third Light Warrior Mission, recording artist, actor, and author, the multifaceted Pastor K-Ice, the Human Library, Master Chef, the Devil's Advocate of the cast, and educator, SK the Wise, better known as SK Mac, rock star musician, master of kicks and chops, and co-host of What's Up Bro podcast. The knowledgeable, complex, and compassionate, it's Sam Crow.
What is up, guys? It is episode 126 of the PodzQuad HQ. My name is Dini. I'm the guy who fell asleep last episode. Yeah, I had to let enough time pass by that you forget about that. So,
no chance.
No, life been really busy lately. So, yeah. But we are here at another Thursday. It's been a minute. We missed you guys. If you're watching live, we appreciate that. We got Sam Crow is in the house. SK Mac is in the house, and the one and only Poegosi is in the house. Oh, we lost SK.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. We're back with the money stacks. Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
All about the Benjamins, baby.
2025 is the year of winning bigly.
Bam.
We're gonna get sick of winning.
No, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. So much winning, they're gonna get sick of us.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff coming too with the shows and stuff. More content.
Yeah.
Skeptics up there. I see Vigilantes Radio episodes now on the channel, so it's expanding, man. I love it.
Yep. Speaking of new shows, man, you and Sam Crow have been kicking off shows on Facebook Live. So
Yep.
guys, I hope you've been
Hanging with the homies. Yep. New episodes we try each week.
So guys, check that out. Crow has a new show.
He just
coming.
Yeah, no. It was
party with you. He's like,
I said that Poe. I said
party with my champagne, chugging it live, playing music. So I was like, yeah, we could party. That's what we used to do with Wiz Fire and Dr. Dan.
Yeah.
first started streaming, and then so like we just started doing episodes. But like he's like, I just want to party.
Well, we were thinking the idea was I'm like, you know what, we want to expand the PodzQuad network there too. So why not throw little fillers here and there? And that's why I sent it to everybody. Whoever homies are involved, come on, if you're around. Yep.
Right. So there was something coming out from us. Like, even though, that was a good idea, bro. That just came out of nowhere. You hit me up on Sunday night a couple weeks ago, and you're like, I want to party with you. We should do some shows. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Because I'm gonna do it anyway, so we might as well do it together. Like,
well, that's why I said I'm like, he's a night owl burning the midnight oil. I may as well join you. Why not? You know?
yeah. You know, I like sometimes I just pop a bottle, but I don't tell anybody about it. And he's like, I want to party with you. It's like, okay, we can do that. That's actually a good idea.
It works. Yeah. Well, I did spill the beans, Poe. I told Dini about your goal to snippet his little sleeping segment. We're gonna put that up on a little short.
Well, I had to check with him first. I didn't want to just do it. So I had to
do it.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. First, I had to make sure because I was like, well, he might get mad. We gotta.
No, man. Dude, I fell asleep on live, so
that's classic. Yeah, it's a viral. It's not for embarrassment. We want to make the shows and everything big, so that's going to be a viral moment that's memorable.
That's my own fault, you know. So
that's all right. Well, it happens.
If you become a meme, you become a meme. That's the internet.
And you don't pick it. You let people pick it. It could be a lot more embarrassing. We could go that route. So think of it that way too. Could be worse.
You became a meme.
He's about to be.
Not yet.
When we clip the sleeping,
we're gonna make it happen. He's about to be. I can almost guarantee. I can feel it's coming. You watch.
Through your podcast, they're gonna start putting the letters on it and everything.
Yeah, you watch. Yep. You watch. As soon as that goes viral, 1 million new likes every night.
Yeah, people actually do go viral off something like that. Like one.
Yeah, they do.
Like makes them huge, and they like make all this money overnight. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you think what's funny about it too is you think about like the people that do like the ASMR, and then there's actually people that sleep that people watch.
Yeah, it's like a sleeping stream.
Yeah, and the people actually they leave a stream when they're sleeping, and people pay to watch it, which I don't understand, but I guess it's a thing. So
I ran across that one night. This woman was asleep, and it was live, and there was people chatting.
Yeah, while they're sleeping.
They'll be in the chat talking. That's weird.
I'm like, what is going on here? Why are they watching this lady sleep?
And there's one I saw. She made like 20,000. Yeah, she made like $20,000 in one night just sleeping. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
I know. What are you doing with your life? The wrong.
Here I am going to work every day. She's just sleeping.
She gets paid to sleep.
I'm like, I've been sleeping since I was little. I could have made millions off of this stuff. Dang.
Professional sleeper. Professional.
Yeah. I wanted to be actually when I was a kid. I could be the best professional eater or sleeper you'd ever seen. So I don't know.
They do have competitive eating, so that is one way.
They do, although
Norma.
Yeah, those glizzy contests.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been a minute, and this is the final week of smart things that smart people said. I guess you can call this segment. But no,
so we know that. So we know Sam Crow didn't say it.
Ooh.
Say what? Oh, ha. Look who's back in action there. Very funny. That's hysterical.
All right. It is week 22, and the final quote for this segment is by Estee Lauder. She said, I never dreamed about success.
Hey, Lauder. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. That's right up SK's alley.
What do you think about that?
We did this one.
We did this one?
Didn't we?
No, I think it was a different one by her. It was this. I don't remember it.
It was somebody similar. It was Mary Kay Ash.
There was Ralph Lauren too. Ralph Lauren was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, Mary Kay Ash was the last one.
I
never dreamed about success. I worked for it. What do you think about that, Sam Crow?
Well, I will say this, and I like the quote coming in, but I think it goes back to we shared before. You do have to dream a little bit. There has to be an idea, right? There has to be a foundation where everybody starts. I think, especially we talk about growing up as kids, we all had dreams growing up, right? I want to be a doctor or a lawyer. I want to be, an astronaut. You'll have and of course, Dr. King said, I have a dream, right? There has to be a way to start somewhere. But the idea there is, I think what she's saying is she didn't let it just be an idea that sat on the shelf. You know, you put that practice into action. You know, you want something. We use climbing like the Mount Everest example of, if you want to climb Everest, you got to climb a little at a time. You can't just sit at the bottom of the mountain and look at the top going, I really wish I was up there, but not even try to climb it, right? And most people do that, right? We talked about it, whether it's, you know, any kind of entertainment, whether it's, you know, streaming and, you know, podcasts, which we talked about, you know, just get in there. Like Nike says, just do it. You know, don't be afraid. Stick to it. So I think for her, it's a nice reminder that you can have a dream, you can have a goal, you can have something you want to achieve, but you got to put that into action and into practice. Like I said, we wouldn't have had the shows we had if Big Hoss and I just sat there talking about it, which we did for a little while. But at some point, we're like, we got to get off the couch and we got to make this an idea a reality. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. We're just going to sit here and spin our wheels and wish for the what ifs and never get it, right? So, but as far as the success factor, and we say this too, is I'm still a big believer of success is what you make of it, you know, personally, individually. What do you see as success? And that's where people, I think, you know, have issues where they expect using, I like, again, the money shot back there for Poe is a good example. They want the ka-ching, you know, right overnight. They expect to be rich and famous. They want to be platinum album sellers in their music overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dreaming a little too much. Again, it could happen, but if you're just dreaming it and not working towards your goal, it won't happen that way. So you don't want to expect that it's going to happen, especially with, you know, a lot of people out there. And as much as I like to say we don't like to acknowledge competition, there is that. So just understanding that you work at something you love to do, and it might happen. It might take off. Like Estee, you know, Lauder was a brand. It did take off. Apple was an idea. Bill Gates with Windows was an idea. You know, not probably knowing it was just something that these people were passionate about that took off. It ran with it. So just be positive of it. If it's something you love to do, you know, don't get caught in the web of the mess of I got to be successful or it's for nothing. If you love what you do, do it. The success can follow as long as you're dedicated, as long as are willing to work at it, stay the course, and continue just to grind. And you know, don't overdo it. Don't make it too much of a chore that you don't like it.
Right,
Right, exactly. So focus on what you love, what drives you, and again, then the success can always come later. So I think that's a great way that she put that for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, what about you, Poe? What do you think?
Yeah, dreaming is good. Like I used to dream about stuff when I was younger, and that stuff didn't it manifests till like years later. Because technology wasn't there, neither was like monetization for sites, really. So back in the day, the only way you made money is you knew how to code and launch your site. And then you could maybe get like Google AdSense back in the day. I don't know when that started, but you know, YouTube didn't get monetized until when? Like later, right? It came out in 2005. So we're talking like monetization for a lot of stuff, and then Facebook barely started doing monetization, like
barely. Yeah.
And then so like for me, it became easier once the platforms like had the stuff, and then it's also like putting in the work, putting in the time, the grind, having a plan, executing it, and but you should have a vision in your mind what you want to do. And you never know, just keep going, like Sam Pro says. Also, Mario was an idea, and so was Doom.
Yeah.
So like Doom is such a huge game, so is Mario. You know, Zelda was an idea. So all these little things, you know, even Mickey Mouse was an idea. So like at one point, so everything starts very small. So if they didn't like keep going with it, it might have not become what it became. But
exactly.
Yep. What do you think, SK?
I think she just couldn't dream. You know, like some people go to bed and they don't dream.
Well,
because like, I just think that was the case.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she may have a dream on record.
Maybe. Could be.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why, but I'm addicted to ice right now.
it's summertime.
Me too.
I think it's a Juneteenth thing. I don't know, but
I've been crunching on ice since last month. Sometimes it's like I go to the gas station, I just get a cup of ice. That's
It's
all you
supposed
want.
to be.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Nothing
It's
phases
supposed
me.
to be
You
an
said
iron
you've been partying hard, so
deficiency.
I just expect that. So that's okay. Go ahead.
You tried to make an ice joke?
No, I just said I'm not surprised because you said you're partying hard. So nothing phases. So nothing's gonna surprise me at this point. So it's not weird. I don't find it weird, is what I'm saying. If you're trying to think, oh, it's weird, hey,
You be careful. Okay,
I
so so like some people don't dream, and like
true.
I get the message that she's saying is like she's never dreamed about success. She's only worked at it. I think what she's saying is that like she never kind of had a vision of being successful, but because of her work ethic, she
Hmm.
just kind of ended up in a situation where she was successful. It
Yeah,
wasn't a part of it wasn't her goal or whatever, but it was just like, hey, I stumbled upon success.
right.
I'm here based
That's
off
fair.
of my habits and patterns, the way I carry myself, the way I like to do work, the way I like to um what's the word? It starts with an E. The way I like to get a task done, for lack of better
Hmm.
term.
Yeah.
The way I like to carry out a task, it just happened to lead me into success. It wasn't something I necessarily planned to do.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm getting from it.
True. Yeah,
Cool.
makes sense.
All right. So I don't really know what she's saying here. And I guess it's based off of my belief that you got to have some type of vision of where you're going,
Yep.
or else you're just working for nothing.
Yep.
And she said, I never dreamed about success. I worked for it. I mean, but what does that mean? How did you know what you were working towards without
Exactly.
the vision, without the dream,
Exactly.
Well, the
without
reason,
without the drawing board, without the
Yep.
mind map, without the think tank, the
Yep.
mind dump, as I like to call it?
Yep.
the reason I disagree with that because you could drive a car blindfolded and still end up somewhere.
Yeah, in the
What?
ditch or in
I was
You
gonna say,
could
or in
drive
the
no,
river.
like, seriously, you could drive a car blindfolded, throw a dart, however you want to word that, and still end up somewhere. She just happened to land at the address of success.
Can we try that? Would you do that for us as a social experiment? Let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I would definitely drive a car blindfolded.
but
Okay.
The car has to start in your driveway. We
I'll
have to
loan you my
start there.
car. I
Yep.
can do that. You want to loan my car? I'll loan you my
I
car.
want your car, and we have to do it in your driveway.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair
but
enough. Well, my life insurance is paid up too, so we're good. Okay.
man, but this is nothing against Estee Lauder.
No.
But sometimes rich and famous people can just say anything, and people coin it as like, "Oh, that's so insightful." This one, I think, is
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah.
This one is like, you could have kept that one. I never dreamed
Yeah.
about this. I worked for it. How did you know
No,
what to
we
work?
all had
How
to
did
have
you know what to work for?
exactly. Exactly.
So,
Hence why I say Dr. King even
sorry,
said I
Estee
had a
Lauder,
dream.
but this one shouldn't have made the list.
No. Swing and a miss. So close.
You ain't gonna miss. Okay, well, the next segment is Ask an Expert, and today's expert is Poegosi,
Ooh.
what an artist, poet, podcaster, the creator of Drunk Wizard Gaming, and the new show that is coming, Drinking with the Wizard, which I'll be on Monday.
Oh yeah, Monday. That's right.
Yeah,
All right. Sign me up.
yeah,
If you want to come drink too, you got to drink the
Yeah.
beer.
Like, guys, I can make
Okay.
these shows. You just got to tell me in advance so I could make sure I'm not booked for anything else.
Yeah. No, once we
Yeah,
got these laid down, we're working on a schedule for everything. We'll get everybody clued up here.
Okay, cool.
We're just throwing ideas out.
So Poegosi is today's Ask an Expert. The question is from Shaggy Dwarf.
Uh-oh.
Is Jamie Foxx a better actor than Denzel Washington?
And go.
I like Denzel Washington more because
Was
of
he
Man
the
on
actor?
Fire. Man on Fire, that movie's awesome. And like Christopher Walken said in that movie, Creases Art is Death. and he's about to
Careful, careful.
So that's all I gotta say. Like Man on Fire, Denzel Washington. That's all I gotta say. Like that's my favorite, one of my favorite movies.
Okay. Poegosi, tip the scale a bit. Denzel Washington, Malcolm X, Jamie Foxx, Ray Charles.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh
No, I didn't say anything about Training Day.
no. Those are the two
Washington,
movies.
You said
Those are the
actor,
two
not movies. Actor.
Or Jamie Foxx as
Well,
Ray Charles.
He's giving you top performance. That's like their peak performances. If you had to pick between the two,
I feel like.
And these are character actors.
Yep. Careful now.
Well, these are more like biographies, though. Like instead
Right.
of character actors.
But still, they have to embody the person that they're
Exactly. So careful now.
I don't know. I
So
didn't.
basically,
I only saw part of Ray.
Have you seen the films though?
No, I only saw part of Ray, so I can't really.
Okay, so that's you can't go. You can't go with that. You didn't see them. It's not fair to. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw some of both. Yeah, but like overall,
I'm trying to figure out.
I like Denzel more because his movies are more violent. So I'm just being honest.
Okay.
Man on Fire, he killed a lot of people. Training Day, he killed a lot of people, and I'm more into action.
It was his turn. That's how he ended up.
Okay, because I'm like, you said recording artist, and then we went into the cinema. I'm like, Poegosi,
Well,
why is Poegosi judging this?
it's a blend. It's a potpourri question.
Yeah.
No, I thought it would have went more to like, drunk was a gaming or drinking or gaming.
Nintendo versus Sega.
Yeah, but no, he was next in line to be the expert.
Question,
Yeah, this is random, so he was next in line to be the expert. So the
I was
question
like,
was
is he a
random.
movie buff that I don't know of, like secretly?
Yeah, he watched movies.
You don't know. We all have secrets. Ooh.
I've been catching up on movies lately that I haven't seen, so now I know which ones to watch.
Well, now you got to watch those two. You got to watch Malcolm and you got to watch the Ray Charles. You got to see those now.
I did see Ray, but I didn't see the whole thing. But it was really good. I saw half of it.
You got to watch the whole thing, is what I'm saying, man. If you want to make comments,
Okay. So Poe said Denzel is a better actor than Jamie Foxx. What do you think, Sam Crow?
Yeah, what do you
I
think,
will
Sam?
say this. Let me start with this. Between those two comparisons, they are both unique in their own right. Okay. And I will say this. I think it's hard to pick because Denzel and Jamie both have unique acting styles. I love Django Unchained. That's probably one of my most favorite Jamie Foxx movies.
Oh,
okay?
That's a good movie. That's right.
Quentin Tarantino, love it. Yes, that's good. And see, for Denzel, there's so many I've seen him in. It's hard to pick. Deja Vu was good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. So I would say, by accolades, obviously Denzel has had a longer career. He's been doing it a bit longer than Jamie, but Jamie has made a name for himself too, especially in some music. He's done some of his own musical stuff too, so he's kind of supplemented that a little bit. I think it's hard to pick because they are both such unique and different talents. It's kind of hard. It's like comparing apples and oranges. I think it depends on the context of what the movie is, what the characters they're playing are. So I would say they are both in their respective rights are very good actors. It's very hard to, I think, in any category to break it down. But just to be fair, and the only nod I can say is only Denzel a bit more, just because I've seen more of his films than Jamie Foxx. But that doesn't mean that.
That's the same thing with me. That's the thing. Yeah.
Right. That's the only tipping point. But I think you have to give them credit because they've each established them. So that's just for me. That's, I think, to be fair, in my opinion.
Okay. It is a hard one. What about you, SK? Is Jamie Foxx a better actor than Denzel Washington?
I don't think we can. For me, I'm familiar with the work of both,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think this is a valid question.
Was it a generational?
The reason I say that is because, and I don't know it verbatim, but one would say that Jamie Foxx might mention how he drew inspiration from Denzel.
Right.
So to me, it's like comparing Beyonce to Patti LaBelle or Aretha Franklin. She drew
Wow.
inspiration from those people. You get what I'm saying? And they're the
Yeah.
generation before her. So you can't really judge how she comes up with her art because there are more resources that are available to her, more technology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
That's
her
true.
raw work, the raw work we see from her, and the raw work we will see from somebody she drew inspiration from would
Mm-hmm.
look different. One would say hers would automatically look better because
Fair
she
point.
drew inspiration from them. That means she has learned from their past mistakes to do better than
That's
they ever
true.
could. So I don't think it's appropriate to compare these two actors because I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any homework on it. I'm just seeing the question as we're here. But I'm sure there may be some type of interview or something where Jamie Foxx may speak to drawing inspiration from Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, he
That's
does. He
fair.
does.
That's
And he
fair.
does a, and he
Like
does a
it's like,
real he does a
mm,
real neat Denzel impression.
He
mhm,
does.
there you go.
He even had Denzel cracking up.
Yeah. See,
Right.
I think that's the hard part too. It's the same thing like the argument of who's the greatest, like these athletes. Well, yeah, obviously Jordan back in the day, but how
Yeah,
do you
Jordan.
compare that
Yeah.
with Bill? How do you compare that with Bill Russell? I mean, Bill Russell dominated back in the 50s. I mean, it's a generational talent thing.
Mm.
So,
It's
you're
generational,
talking different. Yeah, you're talking different eras. Now, for me personally, who's the best in this day and age? Well, it's not LeBron anymore. I mean, he's past his prime at this point. But in the early days, obviously, he was a generational talent. Same thing with Durant and Steph Curry and these guys. That's the current era. But at some point, you got guys now like Giannis who's stepping up and Wembanyama and these other young kids that are going to they're the future now. They're the stars going forward. So I think
Yeah.
it's really hard when you talk generational talent. For each generation had their great ones, their goats, their superstars. Same
Like
thing,
Mike
actors.
Tyson.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, I get that, but Denzel is still acting. It's not like
True.
he went away. It's not like he's a dinosaur or a relics.
He's
No,
Theater.
and
He is still acting. So there's still there's
top of his game. Yeah, top of his game
he's
for
still,
sure.
no, I wouldn't say top of his game. And yes, to your point, he is still acting. But let's think about the type of roles he's taking now.
That's
He's not
true.
competing for the same roles as, let's say, a Jonathan Major. He's out of
That's
that
true.
gap.
True.
well, he just did
Major's
Equalizer 3.
generation.
He just did
Mhm.
Equalizer 3. That was an action film.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
just
saw.
did
Yeah.
Equalize. Well, wait. Think about that. He has been the only person in that franchise. That's just like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are tons of young white actors up and coming who we all could say could take that role, physically
Fair point.
and do it. But that's Tom Cruise's franchise. It's him. It's his name. That's the same thing with Denzel. You have
No,
yes, the
I
Equalizer is his
disagree.
franchise.
I disagree
Well,
because
let
I'll
me
say this. Let me make a point.
go
I
ahead.
disagree with that. The Rocky franchise changed to Creed because Rocky was too old to box, so they got a
Okay.
younger guy.
But it's not called
And now
Rocky. It's not called Rocky though. They changed the
I
name.
It's its
That's the
know,
own
whole
thing,
point.
right?
I
So
know,
that you
but
can't even use that as a comparable point
it
because
is because it's still in
no,
the same vein as
no,
the
it's
Rocky.
not. It's Creed. It's just Creed.
Well,
It's
here's a
not
good one. Wait
Rocky.
a minute.
It's
I
not
want to,
Rocky.
and
It's called
I don't
Creed.
do this often. But I'm going to actually back SK here a little bit. Let me throw this in the
Oh
equation.
no!
There's a first time for everything, okay? But let's just say, for argument's sake, because this has been talked about,
Okay.
Wesley Snipes in the Blade franchise, okay?
Mhm.
They're trying to bring it back with Methuselah, or what the Methuselah? Is that his name? Yeah, they're trying
Mhm.
to reboot that. It hasn't happened yet. It's been delayed. It's been stalled. Supposedly now it's back on track again. But is it going to be known? Because Wesley Snipes, in my opinion, that just be me, I thought did a tremendous job with the character for all 3 films and all the others that he did. It's like the Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. Can you really replace that character?
I don't know if that's the same
Yeah, it's
because
not the same
because
because
that's like
Ali
a
is up in
superhero
age
movie.
too. He's not.
So
Well,
He's
that's
not a young
you
guy.
kind of it's kind of like with the superhero movies. It's kind of known that you're going to have different actors take the place of that one character over time.
Okay, how
But
about
we're
this?
just now getting to the point with Marvel where we're starting to see continue. It's a word. Continue.
the continuation.
It's not continuity. That's the word I think it is.
Continuity.
Where we're
Yes.
starting to see
Okay.
continuity with the actors being used in every part of the universe, whether there's an overlap in some random movie or not. Marvel is just now kind of introducing that to us, but it's always kind of been understood that because why? A superhero is a person who is at the primeness in their physical fitness.
Mhm.
Perfect example for day for what we're talking about right now with Denzel. We love Denzel. He is a champion in our community, but
Mhm.
Right.
he is now also an uncle. He is an uncle. So that
Grandpa.
means that even if he's doing these
Yeah.
equalizer movies, unless Unc been in the gym this whole time, he's probably not doing as many of his own stunts as he was
True.
doing when he was in his prime. So to compare him to a person like Jonathan Major, you can't because Jonathan Major could probably go out here and do his own stunts. He'll probably even tell you in an interview if he's on the same cast, oh my God, I'm starstruck because I drew all my inspiration from this guy. I learned how to mimic this guy, which makes my acting career starts at this platform here, the Denzel standard. And from there on, I move forward. But where did I start? At the
Right.
Denzel standard. So
Okay.
it's like kind of unfair to compare them because
But
we're
we didn't
taking
mention Jonathan Major.
the after generation,
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx even, Jamie Foxx, he's part of that after generation of Denzel. So what does that mean? He's got to take the time to sit back, watch him, see how he does it. Oh, he won an Oscar here, so that means it's validated. This is what you should do. This is the blueprint. And he continued to move in that way. You just said he was in Malcolm X. You just said he was in this. I'm sure you could compare his body of work to Denzel. He's probably got a biopic, just like Denzel has a biopic. What?
Yeah.
Why is that though? That's not by mistake. That's because he probably looked up to him. You know,
True.
Black Hollywood is small, and Black Hollywood for Black men is even smaller. So, you
True.
know, once you see a pathway outlined and how to do it, you do it. They took the
Okay.
movie route, but you know, the other route is what you do something for so long, then what you're on some game show. You're a host of some game show. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? So
But see, I wouldn't compare Denzel to Jonathan Majors. I would compare Jonathan Majors to Michael B. Jordan.
Ah, there you go. Yep. Okay.
Or I would compare Jamie Foxx to Will Smith.
I would
Ooh.
compare Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. I feel like we're in the same generation, but Michael B. Jordan has been doing it longer. I love
Because he
Michael
was a
B.
kid
Jordan.
actor. Because he
I
was in
watched
The
Michael
Wire.
jo- I watched Michael B. Jordan before The Wire. I watched him when he was on All My Children. Then when he was
Oh
on,
wow.
Oh, my children. What?
yeah, he was on All My Children. He was on the soap
Really?
opera
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Back
as a
in the
child
day. Yeah.
actor. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, his name was Reggie. And then I
Yeah.
think he was on Harry Potter, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
one of his earlier movies. So
In the early
you
films.
can't
Yeah.
really compare them because you know Michael B has been in it kind of all of his life, and we're just now kind of seeing Jonathan Majors.
But they're kind of the same
But
age.
they're peers.
Yeah.
But it's like comparing Britney Spears to someone who just came out. Like you know, Britney Spears was part of Mickey Mouse Club. She had been doing it
Sabrina
all her
Carpenter.
life.
Sabrina
You get what I'm
Carpenter.
saying? Like a Sabrina Carpenter. Out of
Yep.
and we can't really compare them because you know Sabrina Carpenter may say she drew inspiration from Britney
Yeah.
Spears, but for lack of a
Yeah.
better term, in this case, you couldn't compare them because she's been training for this her whole life.
Right. That's
You
fair.
know,
I can
it's
see
like
that.
comparing Michael Jackson and Prince. You can't do that.
Oh.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson
No.
has been doing that his whole life. He was
Uh-huh.
reared to be a performer. Prince is good at performing. You just can't compare them. Now you could compare Michael Jackson to someone who was reared all their life because they're evenly yoked, but you can't compare Michael Jackson to Prince
That's a
because
good. That's a good point.
Prince, you know, he didn't have his career wasn't as long as Michael Jackson. He wasn't preparing
No.
for it
No.
as long as Michael Jackson. His parents
Yeah.
weren't, at least that I know of. Could be
Yeah.
ignorant.
No, you're
At
correct.
least
You're
that I
correct.
know of.
Yeah. No, that's a
Yeah.
fair point.
But
And in
people
the same
compare
token,
Mike and Prince all the time.
yeah.
They do. It doesn't
That's
Well,
make it
because,
just.
but that's because they
It
have the
doesn't
high
make
pitched
it
voice.
just.
That's why the voice.
It's
Ah.
because they were
It
born in the
hits those high
same
notes.
year.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
all kind of born in the same year. And they
Mhm.
kind of all had careers that ran, you know, pretty long. But
Right.
you can't really compare them because once again, Michael Jackson had the upbringing he had that was geared towards show business. You know, now if you compare
Well,
him to maybe some of the younger groups, maybe like some of the people from New Edition, one of the members of that,
yeah,
that's
New
more
Edition.
comparable because they grew up in the studio their whole life. They had sacrifices to make. They didn't get to be a kid. All they had to focus on was their talent. So
Well,
I mean, you can compare those.
Well, it's funny too. You could even compare, since you bring it up, with the Jackson family. I mean, the whole family had show business early, but really, like, other than Michael and Janet, like, nobody else really hit the star level that they did. Not saying they didn't have decent careers, but as far as launching the spotlight, how many of the Jacksons do you hear about? It was Michael and Janet. They're the ones that had the ultimate stardom once they got older, after they grew out of the childhood, the band, the family band, and I mean, Tito, Jermaine, the guys they more were in the backside. They weren't spotlight like they were when they were kids. So that the careers kind of tweaked and went different ways. So, but again, they were cut from the same cloth. The family did it since they were all born into it and bred into it. But just for, I don't know if I want to say it's because pure talent, but Michael shot off to stardom, and his little sister Janet had her own success level aside from the wardrobe malfunction, which nobody wants to have.
I want to stop you right there because I'm not going to allow that to go on, especially on Juneteenth. Why are we saying the wardrobe thing? If we're going to put a name to that, I don't think that we should keep tying Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson didn't rip off her own garment.
No, I'm not blaming. I'm just saying that's aside from that.
I don't shift the blame because, like, to our viewers, it perpetuates the narrative that has been going. Janet Jackson in the wardrobe. I mean, if we're going to say the full thing, let's say it. Justin Timberlake ripped off her garment and exposed her on national.
Yeah, no,
TV.
I'm not blaming. I'm saying is that shouldn't even be counted. Like, don't mark that for her career. Her career was stellar there. That should not be anything against her because it wasn't her fault.
Saying don't mark it for her career, you kind of marked it for her career. Because there are people who are listening to this who don't know much about her that are going to look her up now, like the generation after us, and now it's like, oh, that's what she's known for, having her boob ripped out.
But it's something
on her career now.
But it's something where you have, again, and I can make that point of the same thing. Michael Jackson had that with Blanket, holding them over the railing. You got to own those moments because you get yourself. Now that was on him.
And that's what I'm saying. I disagree with. Michael Jackson was the aggressor there. Yeah, he has to own that. Janet Jackson was not the aggressor. He was more of a victim. So when you say own that, there was nothing for her to own because her clothes were ripped out, ripped off of her. But when said a second ago, you said when Janet Jackson, blah, 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 blah. So I guess for me, the proper wording would have been when Janet Jackson was exposed on national TV.
Right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, as opposed to, like, if that were any of us, where I acknowledge it happened, and again, not her fault. You don't want it to dictate the narrative for your life either, because those moments are going to haunt you. But you rise above that and say, you know what? And that was what, 20? What are we in 2025? That was what, 24 years ago. It's been at least 20.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like the word exposed because it sounds like she had something to hide. I mean, of course, a boob, but I would say
it was a wardrobe malfunction. Either way, it was not planned. It was not something they set up to do.
He exposed her body on national television. That's exactly what happened.
But she didn't hide away from. That's what I'm saying. Don't let the embarrassment take you. Don't hide from it. You acknowledge, it happened, but now you move forward. And again, her career continued to.
Her career, that's a lie. Her career took a major hit. They tore her up for that. That's the whole reason I'm having this conversation, because
she had to go into acting.
Janet Jackson apart for that, and this was not a wardrobe malfunction on her behalf. He ripped the garment off of her, and from my understanding, it was just supposed to expose the top of her breast, but that's where the malfunction came in. But she was the one that was publicly dragged for that, even so much so today to where you had the mishap of saying what you said, which made me step in and say, hey, we're not going to say it that way, So
she went to acting behind that one.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
But you also, when you're done right. I'm not saying it's done right, but I'm saying you also acknowledge in the spotlight when you sign that, when you're on stage, obviously things happen. I mean, you could go out throughout history different. If you just do like Super Bowl shows or whatever, there's always something that's going to happen where they say, you understand, it's like that waiver signing. You're going on here.
Yeah,
And
you're right. And that person that that waiver, that asterisk, that small print belongs to is Justin Timberlake. So let's start
yeah,
saying his
that's
name with
fair.
that. Because once
Oh yeah,
again, she was
I blame him.
standing with both
Yeah,
hands to her side. I remember seeing it. My aunt recorded it live on VHS. She turned her
right.
head and he said, "I'll have you naked by the end of this song," and ripped off her shirt.
Yeah, that's
So
wrong.
if
Yeah, no,
there's
I'm.
any blame that we're going to talk about with that little fine language and taking responsibility, let's
Oh
start
sure.
saying his name with it. Let's not continue to say
Yeah.
her name with it. She's been dragged enough.
Yeah, no, obviously and that's why I mean I was young when that happened. I still remember it barely, but
Oh
no,
yeah, we were like teens when that happened.
we were yeah, no, obviously yeah, she did, and I'm what I'm saying is you got it. It's hard because you don't want that to be a stumbling block for lack of term. I know it was, and some moments, unfortunately, a lot of celebrities they don't live down, and it's hard because again, not her fault because obviously it got out of hand and obviously it was viral because it was on national television, which makes it 10 times worse.
It was the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. That's an average is like
that's crazy.
It just points out a whole different dynamic. We really want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. He was black female. He was white male. Period.
That's the other. Yeah, that's the other.
If you really want to go there, man, it was done on purpose. That was, I mean, you know,
probably on his part. Yeah,
we've been exposing the Illuminati for a minute on this show, just showing little things here and there. This was done on purpose, and that's why she left music.
Interesting. That's I didn't think about that. That's true. I could see where
she gained a bunch of weight after that.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate that. Yeah,
I mean, I would have gained a lot of weight too if I was ostracized on national TV. Then blamed for the event.
Started doing like Tyler Perry movies.
Right.
Tyler Perry wasn't even up there yet.
That's true.
It's kind of like being
being in the Tyler Perry movie, her kind of bouncing back from all of that.
I mean, Tyler definitely
first like thing after all of those years of that.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler definitely helped her in that way.
Yeah.
But it was just saying that she fell from grace, that she had to do a Tyler Perry movie and not a Martin Scorsese movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Tyler wasn't Spielberg at that time.
Yeah, I could see that. Unfortunately, yeah, that's I think it's just hard, you know. One moment like that in showbiz, it can really make or break and change a lot of things. And sometimes you don't even know it till it's too late. Sometimes I think that's the unfortunate part of it. So, And again, I've seen a lot. I mean, like that's just one example of Super Bowl shows, but there's been a lot of mishaps over decades. We talk about memes and viral things happening. I mean, sometimes they happen like that for the wrong reason, unfortunately, and those are things that get remembered as opposed to anything else.
I'll never forget the iconic moment that Kanye West and Mike Epps were on stage, and he looks right into the camera.
Yeah,
they're going on commercial. I think it was the VMAs.
It was.
He says, first of all, to set the scene, when the pause took place, you could see on Mike Epps' face. Is his name Mike Epps?
Mike Epps, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
The one that does Shrek and
no, that's Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, thank you.
Mike Epps is the other actor though. Yeah, Mike Epps.
Yeah. Okay, Michael Myers. You could tell on his face. And when Kanye says George Bush doesn't like black people, I saw all of the life leave Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And it's just a corpse standing up there. It was just being held up by muscle memory at that point because he was not in there.
He was like,
right?
He thought he was going to cut to a commercial. He said, George Bush doesn't like black people.
To do the commercial, the little, we'll be right back with the VMAs, or this is the next performance. VMAs brought to you by Virgin People or some shit.
Wasn't that 2005? That was 2005.
Can't remember the year.
Yeah, it was way back. Yeah,
a very, very interesting year.
Very.
No, this is a very interesting year because this is when the Kanye Hitler song came out. Funny how from that year to this year,
it's like
changed.
It recycles. It comes back to full swing.
What the hell happened to him?
You gotta wonder.
Yeah, it's like
I mean, but again, the Illuminati is a good point. We don't think about those things that we don't see behind the scenes.
Making this stuff happen, like making them.
Don't know. I mean, how does all this stuff happen and all these things that you never think happen, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes? So it could be a lot of things that we don't see right with the naked eye anymore, and we should, but yeah.
Oh man, I don't think they're hiding it anymore.
Not now. No, now it's becoming. But back, years ago, nobody thought about these, but now they're making the message more and more clear, and it's becoming more of a realization. Like they're not shy anymore. They're coming. It's going to smack you in the face one way or the other.
I mean, you said that thing that happened with the wardrobe thing was in the VHS days. Like he said, VHS. That had to be 90s, right?
That was Super Bowl.
That was early 2000s. Yeah, I remember that happened.
Oh, so we still had VHSs in the early 2000s then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have VHS.
Right.
I think we had DVR back then,
DVDs and stuff were just starting at that point.
People were, like moving more towards DVD, but some people still have VHS. That's true.
Exactly. And my aunt was one of those some people. Like, just so happened, as a matter of fact, she had both because it happened on live TV. And she rewinded it because no one knew her breast was gonna pop out. You know what I mean? And then she
didn't know it.
She rewinded it and recorded it off live TV because after that it was blurred by any other media that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were able to see it like on TiVo or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
And then because she always had like a VHS tape and like this tape where she recorded.
She was ready.
Video. Yeah, because during that time she would record music videos on MTV Spring Break and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And then we were like when the Bone Thug music videos came out, we were like running.
Exactly.
You recorded all on VHS.
Yeah, we were trying to promote
and stuff like that. Those were the days.
WWYD, Nitro, I used to record all that on VHS.
You had to get it on tape.
You used to have to record. You used to record on SLP because you could get more content on the actual tape, and then you could record over things. I
love that. I used to tell stories. I recorded myself. Oh, it was great.
When you could pre-program when the VCR.
You can program it. That was
sleep mode, like you said,
SLP, and you couldn't change the channel. You had to leave that channel on. You couldn't flip around to watch something else, or you tape whatever was on the TV.
Dang.
Crazy days, man. Crazy.
Ooh, days. I remember one time I did that. My parents were so mad. They wanted to tape something. We were kids. I forgot. I changed the channel. I think I was watching cartoons. So the documentary they were supposed to be recording ended up being cartoons, and my parents looked at me and I'm like, well, I didn't know. You didn't tell me you were recording. So we got like 3 hours of Looney Tunes when it was supposed to be like this documentary. So whoops.
3 hours of Looney Tunes. Oh my God.
And then it was like, you don't know when they're going to rerun or rebroadcast with
exactly. And that was like a one-time thing. My parents were like, you got to be kidding.
On demand was not a thing. On demand was not a thing.
No. That was a dream at that time. That was an imagination at that time.
We had it hard.
Right?
I remember
we had it hard growing up.
And then
they were phasing this out in my childhood, but the TV Guide channel that you watch.
TV
Guide.
Everybody watched that.
It was like channel 60 or something.
Channel 50, I think.
You remember the book that used to come out in the grocery stores, the TV Guide book?
Yeah, me telling you.
I remember that because my aunt, she's big on like pop culture and stuff. So like,
that was the channel to watch.
To US Weekly, People, all of that, and TV Guide was one of those services. I remember watching Entertainment Tonight and like all of those different. Like she really kept me up on pop culture media, like knowing all the celebrity gossip, stuff like that.
The thing that stunk the most, though, with VHS tapes and cassette tapes were whenever the tape reels pulled out, you had to get a pencil, you had to pop the thing and try to wind the tape back because you ruined your tape. I put my favorite tape in the VCR, I'd be pulling it out going, no, my tape.
That rarely ever happened.
Yeah, whenever the tapes got stuck.
Yeah, when the VCR eats up your tape. Oh.
Yep. Oh, it was so not. It was so bad. My poor Lion King tape.
It happened to me so many times. I had a science to how to pull it out and keep
Yep. You know exactly how to the minute detail, how you pull it this way and pull it that way. Yep.
Yeah. If you do it too rough, it'll tear the film.
It'll tear it up. And then you had to, and then once you get it out, you had to wind it because it was crinkled. So you had to fast forward and rewind it to try to strengthen the tape and smooth it out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kids have no idea the struggle.
Kids these days got it so easy.
You're spoiled, you kids.
They can just scream it.
Yeah.
Stop, rewind, fast forward, do whatever they want.
We had no DVR back then. There was no DVDs. You kids had to listen.
If I missed the episode of Salute My Shorts, that was it.
That was it. Yep.
You better
no rebroadcast.
No rebroadcast.
That was it.
Till it gets syndicated.
Yeah.
And who knows when that happens.
Yeah.
It might never. Yeah, sometimes it never happens. So
Never
it's like, all
happens.
right.
Like so many good shows got canned and just put in the vault, never to be seen.
So many good shows back then, man. I used to love TV back in the day. Like it was.
Man, shout out to the people who actually VCR'd everything.
Yeah.
And used
I got about 300 tapes worth of TV shows. We taped everything. So like my parents would have the whole room full of cassette tapes, VHS tapes of shows, movies off the TV.
The collection.
Yep.
My dad used to record all the games. So
yep. That's what my dad. I got all these Super Bowls from the early era. We recorded them all. We watched it on top of it while we recorded it, just so we could have it to go back and watch it later.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Okay, guys, I do have a clip. It's called "Sleep on Your Left Side." I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but sleeping on your left side is healthy for you.
Interesting.
Let's check it out.
Notice when you land on your back, all the gravity is going down and closing the esophagus. So you need to turn to your what? Your left side. Now, once you turn to your left side, like I'm doing right here, this will actually relieve all the pressure off the back of your tongue and the fats that's building off the back of your tongue. And you can get a better passageway for you can get oxygen down to your lungs. And then the lungs can distribute all this oxygen to your bloodstream. So you need to turn to your left side and you need to start sleeping that way. Do not sleep on your right side because it turns your stomach upside down, and now you're going to have GERD disease, or you're going to start getting acid reflux, and this can create ulcers and all types of things. So always sleep on your left side, the way your stomach is positioned right, and you can keep that cardiac sphincter closed, because that cardiac sphincter acts as a door that actually shuts your esophagus off from your stomach. That way you won't start leaking hydrochloric acid into the esophagus, which will make this problem much worse, or you feel like you're having a heart attack throughout the day when it's really acid just burning up your esophagus and burning up that cardiac sphincter.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. I've been having a lot of acid reflux, and I wake up on my right side. I've been spewing. Wow. Okay.
So does my wife. She has a very hard time with sleeping and
reflux, period.
At night.
Wow. I'll have to try that. No wonder, because I wake up, I spit up, and I get acid in my throat, and I'm always on my right side. Wow. Okay.
That used to happen to me until I started sleeping on my side. Oh, I sleep on my right side. Dang.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'll try it though. I'm curious to try that. Let's see if it works. We'll have to do a social experiment with that. But I think
I snore if I sleep on my back, but if I sleep on my side,
I do too. I'm like a trucker. Yeah. I'm a buzzsaw going through a steel pipe when I'm on my back. Yeah.
And acid reflux also has to do with diet. So I don't have it anymore, but I used to have it terribly. But it's because I was eating.
You're not supposed to eat a lot before bed. That's what
my problem is I like it spicy.
Things.
It's a combination
of things. You can you can build up. I mean, it's really from the fact that you're not eating alkaline foods. And then of course, if you're eating if you're eating whatever you're eating and then you're going to bed, your body is still at the top of your digestive, and
it doesn't digest right away.
Trying to break down. So like you said, those acids are being spewed out to help break down their food. And then you're laying in a position where that sphincter isn't closed, it's going to spill out into other areas of the body.
Yeah, makes sense. See, I like the spicy, but the spicy don't like me when I go to bed, so that's my problem too. Yeah.
I love spicy.
I'm getting to that age now. I mean, I like it. I just can't give it up yet, but at some point I have to let go or take an antacid before I go to bed. Oh, I sound like my parents now. Jeez.
Take some time.
I gotta take a Tums before I go to bed.
Yeah, Amy chews those things religiously at night.
Like candy, yeah.
Like M&M's.
Popping them for no reason. Like, why you? I like the taste. Like, it's chalk.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. Ugh.
Who likes the taste of Tom's M&M's? You eat for the taste.
It
does.
helps.
It's
I mean, it does
weird.
coat the stomach. It helps, but I don't chew it just for the fun of it. I can't get past the chalky. Well,
Yeah,
don't
she
taste very
loves
good.
that chalk. Something's wrong with her.
I mean, I chewed on chalk when I was a kid. This is the same thing. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It also help with minimizing that as well.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. But since I changed my diet, I don't have acid reflux anymore.
Yeah, see, it's the
Yeah,
diet then.
I'm gonna have to. Yes, that's what I'm at that point. I'm gonna have to.
It's a bad diet
just-
and eating bad diet late at night. That's what causes it.
That's my other problem. I'm a late
If you eat
late night
junk food
binger,
late
so
night,
that's my issue.
Yeah, late night binging junk food, that's the worst. You're gonna have acid reflux no matter
Yep,
what.
and I do. Well, I wake up, I spew up, and I spit up in the bed a couple of times. Like, yep, okay.
Yeah, they used to happen to me, man. But I also learned that during the nighttime when you sleep, your stomach is digesting all the food.
Yep.
So if you just ate, you know, it's having a hard time working, or you wake
Yep.
up because your body's been working all
when you
night.
wake up, you want to go to the bathroom. When you wake up,
Yeah.
Well, that, yeah.
because it's all digested, so it's ready to get out now. Yeah.
Mhm.
But you get that acid in your throat, and I can't breathe, and I'm like drinking water. My throat is raw. Like, I had acid in there. Like, like drinking out of a test tube.
Man,
Yeah,
I've had nights where I had to vomit acid, and it
Yep.
just burns everything.
Yep.
Inside of my nose, my tonsils, my throat.
Oh,
One time
and I
that
smell
happened
that.
to me.
You
and it
smell and
burned
taste
my
that for
throat.
hours.
It burned my throat so bad it changed my voice for a few days.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it was my voice was like Batman or something.
Batman.
It was very dark and raspy.
Wow.
Crusader.
Yeah. All right. So, did you guys know AI had his own language?
I heard that.
Check it
Yeah,
out.
my cousin speak AI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was telling me about it one time. She said, I speak AI, I speak AI. I was like, girl, what is AI? She said, IE. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
check this out.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
Okay. Robots are taking over the world.
Should we be concerned?
Yes.
Yeah.
If iRobot didn't teach us anything from that Will Smith movie, this is
It just sounds like the AOL ringtone, though. It sounds.
but it's like what to be concerned about. It's just like coding, but you can hear it in an audio way instead of seeing it visually.
Well,
it's just that's where it starts.
It's like when you go to a nail shop and they're talking their language, and you don't know if they're talking about you or hatching evil plans.
Oh, that's what he meant. I was gonna say, how do you know about the nail shops? Wait a minute. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, sometimes you may visit them with your daughter or your wife.
Okay, there you go. That sounds better. There you go. Okay, yeah.
Not like I go. My nails are black right now from working.
Well, I mean, I could use a clear coat. That's always healthier for this nail too. But anyway,
I got all kind of dirt under my nails right now.
I know. Well, yeah, it happens by working out in the yard. I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah,
but no, this is the thing. Like, I think the AI. Yeah. Well, the AI speak isn't one thing, but that's where it starts. See, this is where robots get you. Then they slowly, like, have you ever seen iRobot? They take over. They become smarter, and that you know, it's going to be like Planet of the Apes, except with robots, and then we are going to be the pets, basically.
What about Terminator 2? I think
that's at least the nightmare I keep having. Just so anybody knows why I'm awake at night. That's the nightmares I have. So maybe it's just me, but
you can't sleep at night? I sleep great. I don't have nightmares unless I create them.
Oh, well, I'd like to have good dreams, but for whatever reason, I try to eat certain things and do things, but I still get the weird dreams, and usually it's something that's taking over the world.
Do you eat like ice cream or chocolate late at night? That can cause nightmares. Like if you eat sweets.
Not usually. Sometimes chocolate, but I don't overindulge. But I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
You said it. Yeah, I knew it because I know people. That they usually do eat.
Okay. Yeah. Fatty like chocolate. I get it. I know. Yes, I admit it. Okay.
But just don't have it, like I said, right before bed. That's when the
I try not to. I don't. Well, the thing that's weird is no matter what, I don't know if it's like the subconscious. Like I try to, like, the next day I try to figure out what was I thinking about, because usually dreams are things that you've seen or been around, and like the mashups are just so weird. I don't understand how.
Try to do like a meditation where you clear your mind. I put the special music and meditate.
I haven't. I should try that. It's been a while.
Then I like relax and I visualize what I want to visualize. Then I drift into that's the dream I'll drift into.
You know what I haven't done? I can tell you, speaking of that, I haven't done for a while is I usually put ASMR on before I go to bed. I got to start doing that again because whatever reason that seems to.
ASMR works too. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it calms me down. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I have something ambiance in the background. I don't know why it just relaxes. It stimulates the brain, but I'm just, Yeah,
it does it to your mind. Yeah.
What kind of AMSR do you listen to?
I like it very eclectic. I mean, I'll do everything from it's like sounds, like scratching sounds, like the actual people, like the massage type ones,
scratching sounds. That's
the cracking sounds. Yeah, I love the chiropractic, the ASMR with the cracking. That's phenomenal. If you get the cracks just right, that's great. Gosh, what else have I listened to? A lot of it's the same. It's usually instrument like devices, like brushes. The whispers are good too. I love whispers where they just use mouth sounds, things like that. If the microphone is a high, like where the person has it jacked all the way up and they're barely whispering, but it sounds like it's in 4K because they have the mic's so hot. But yeah, anything that's got an ambiance, even like any kind of, what was one I listened to recently? It's like, I don't know. It's like I like the weird ones that come out. There's a lot of weird ones that they're doing. People are getting creative with it, which is nice. But yeah, anything with any kind of sound, or I like brushing sounds, like the hair brushing, or like they do like the rollers on people's backs, or like these scratching really is a good one, especially mic scratching. If people scratch on the microphone, if they have like I don't know, it gives you tingles, but at the same time it makes your hair stand up, because I mean, it's almost like nails on a chalkboard, but it's not to that level of where it drives you that nuts. Like I can handle that. Yeah. So anything that I don't have to watch, because a lot of them are like, you have to watch it. I'm like, I'm trying to lay here to sleep. I'd rather have it be a sound bite, not just you have to watch the ASMR. I want to just hear it.
Oh yeah, you can also put music. I do music with visuals, but I don't always look at the visuals. Sometimes I fell asleep with the tablet in my hand.
Yeah. Like, or I do sound. I like rain sounds or ocean waves. Like, yeah, I do that too. That's good.
That'll clear your mind and you won't get nightmares.
Yeah, because I get some real funny, weird ones, and I'm like, I don't know what I was watching or thinking about, but like I wake up in a cold sweat sometimes. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta watch what they doing.
And I didn't watch anything scary. It's like, oh my gosh, like I have to wake up going, where am I? Oh wait, I'm in a safe place. Okay.
You had like ads playing during the and you're asleep while this ad is playing, and you don't know,
right?
Like some creepy movie, like a scary movie, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
You know what the scariest dream is? When you ever fall asleep with your eyes open and you can see what's in the room, but like you're out of your body, and I'm like, help me! I can't get out. I can see my door, but I'm like, and then I wake up going, wow, like I nearly wet the bed. Like, wow.
You mean like sleep paralysis? Like when you're like asleep, but you're in a dream state.
Right, and your eyes are open so you can see what's around you.
But you can still hallucinate.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me really, but people told me about it.
Yeah, you're in between consciousness.
Right. And I also get, you guys have heard of like the wake up where you're either falling off a cliff or you're falling into a pool. Like I have those falling dreams where I'm not falling, but I wake up startled like I'm falling off a cliff.
Oh my god!
I hate those. They jar me every time. I'm like, diving board, no, oh no, oh. And then I can't sleep
now to where I have a reflex.
Yeah, I hate.
Like,
oh yeah,
like Amy's always like jumping. And I was like, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just whatever I was dreaming about made me jump.
Oh, I felt so bad. I kicked the cat the one night she was in bed. I didn't realize I kicked her off the bed. I wasn't trying to. I'm like, sorry, she went flying. And I had a bad dream. And
hey, good call.
Poor cat. I'm like, I didn't know. Well, she was tickling my leg. I think I was having a dream. I was in a jungle or something. So I kicked them. Like, no, don't bite me. These spiders. Oh.
That's crazy.
We call you the master of kicks. So.
Exactly. Oh, if you could have seen, it was like a comedy movie. She went flying across the room. And needless to say, she didn't come back in the bed for a while. Not to say I can blame her because I didn't mean to kick so hard. So, yeah. But, it happens. But yeah, weird stuff. I'm like, I don't know why I dreamed. Like, where do these things come from? It's subconscious. But I'm like, I don't even remember that stuff. I don't remember I don't remember watching that or doing that in my lifetime. I have these like dreams, like you relive your past.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember that in my. Yeah, like I don't remember doing that in my life. It's like dreams when I was a kid. It's like replaying like home movies in your head, like when you're a kid. And I'm like, I don't even remember that.
Movies from Adult Swim.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's weird though. It's freaky. Man. I'm like, I don't remember living that the first time.
I thought I was the only one who knew about home movies.
Oh no, my parents
didn't like it because like it was a little boring, but like it was cool at the same time.
Yeah,
I
just
always remembered it because of the art style. Like
the art style was crazy.
Their hand,
like the colors blend to their hand. Yeah, the colors blend in their hand. Like their hands the same color their shirt.
Like they all had on gloves or something.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Yeah. I'm going to embarrass myself on national here, but here's just to give you an example. When the video camera came out, which was VHS tape, okay? Mm-hmm. And that was like my parents, that was their big buy. They filmed everything. I mean, us in the bathtub, potty training, everything now that I would not dare to show people because I'd be embarrassed to death.
Well, also because it's child pornography.
Well, that too, yes, but we don't show those. But the meaning was that tape recorder got so much wear and tear out of it because any life moment, birthdays and first steps, and I mean, my parents like we have to build like a room full of all these VHS tapes for the home movies because there were so many between my sister and myself. I mean, we had a whole a whole lot, all labeled down to a T. My first steps, her first steps, first trip to the zoo, first day of school, first day of school, first time trying peas or whatever we had for dinner one night, just because my parents would think it was funny of our reactions.
What about first cheeseburger?
No, first birthday was fun because they used to feed us fun stuff. Like I didn't like a lot of things younger, so it was always fun to get the reactions on there. So it was funny now. Wasn't funny then, but I mean that VHS thing went everywhere. Like on family vacation, that thing was packed. It was a huge suitcase, but that got packed with the family luggage in the family car.
It's like your parents were live streamers before there was live streaming. It was like
there's a whole archive. You could see the footage.
Yeah, they were like doing the social media.
They were content creators.
Yeah. Our first time going to bed, like putting us in a new bed, like if we got our bigger kid beds, like upgrading from cribs, everything was I could have made a lot of money. Yeah, pretty much.
I wish I would have had that on video. Nobody was recording. That was good.
I could sell the library rights to our family stuff. I probably could retire if I did all the content that's there. I'm talking hundreds of hours of. From the time I was 1 year old till about 15, maybe or so, I think is when VHS died out at that point. So, yeah. And again, I go back and watch it now. It wasn't fun at the time. Like, first tooth got pulled out. We lost our first tooth. There's the, I mean, you name it. We have it. I'm sure it's labeled. My mother was a stickler for that labeler with the tapes. So and it's alphabetical too. So there's a whole couple of shelves. This is the A section, the B section, C section.
You have the whole archive, man.
Pretty much, yeah. So if you want to know about my life, I can show you the early days. I have the highlight reels.
Like I could just show you instead of tell you. Oh man.
Even
Yeah,
our shows, like I used to play music for the high school band, things like that. Yep.
I just wish I kind of had some of my fights as a kid on tape too, because they were
Yeah.
pretty good.
I pay to watch that. That's pay-per-view stuff right there.
I
Yeah.
won most of them. Yeah, so like that's the thing. That's why I just wish I could get that footage, man. Sucks that I'll never.
The one thing my mom didn't tape. Darn it.
Well, there would be no one taping in high school, like who would?
No, yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, and then like, yeah, even if someone had a camera, the chances they would. It wasn't like now when people have, cameras on their cell phone.
Oh, we had no phones. We had no phones then. Yeah, no.
If someone had like one of those little camcorders.
Cell phones were for phone calls only. You could barely text with those things, those old flip phones and all that stuff.
Yeah, back in the day, you only could make calls. That's true.
Again, you younger kids were spoiled because nowadays everything is so user friendly. Back then,
we're spoiled now.
Yeah, man.
You couldn't even see the screen on those things. Like, what did I just type? Like,
yeah, it's like these little lines with the green screen. And
I can't see it. Yeah, and then the first thing to go bad was that screen, so you can't see the where's the I don't see it.
Where are the numbers at? Whose number is this? Oh,
the ABCD pad, you had to know 1, 2, 3 was ABC, and then what letter was correspondent with this one. You had to type it twice if you want the same letter.
A text year to send. Yeah.
It take a year.
You did.
Back then, you were better off calling because it just was.
That's pretty much what would happen. Someone's like, I got tired of waiting for you. What were you trying to say? Like, yeah, I know. I can't see the buttons. It's the whole thing.
Unless you knew T9.
That's true. Well, see, my parents they still, even with smartphones now, we have to teach them still. They don't know how to. That's the old school, even now, like some of these kids are smarter than I am, and they're little kids. I'm like, I don't know. You can show me all you want. That's not my technology now. I have no idea. So, just old. That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think we have. I don't know if we're at that point. Dini has a story he wanted to share at some point.
I did.
Is it scary?
Yeah.
Story?
Something that happened in New Jersey. You mentioned that off camera.
Yep, I did.
I didn't want to forget because it sounded pretty good, and he wouldn't tell me anything, so I want to make sure we heard it here.
Yep. So, well, no, it's not a scary story. It's more so a government official getting drunk and got pulled over.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this sounds good. This is like a good story.
No, this was a mayor of a town in New Jersey. Who was picking up her son from a daycare while she was fully loaded, drunk.
Fully loaded. Yep.
So let's check it out.
She knows how to party.
Yes, I am. Over to the house, buddy.
You all right?
Yes, I am.
I'm struggling to stand a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
You okay?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank
Sure? Have you had anything to drink or anything like that?
No, I'm good.
I'm just watching the kid. We got lots of calls where we had multiple stories.
Oh, really?
That you ran a red light and you were swerving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happened in the mirror here?
That's not good.
What happened? Was it like this?
Yeah, that's a.
What about this here? Did you hit something on the way here?
Yeah.
What'd you hit? Where at?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Where you come from?
From school?
School. Where's the school? Have you had anything to drink?
Yeah.
Where at? It's all right. I mean, luckily you're not hurt or anything like that.
No.
All right. So, would you mind doing some tests for it?
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Did you hit 9 yet? No, it's okay. You want to take 9 steps coming back? Okay. All right. The next test we're going to do is the one leg stand. Okay.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to stand with your hands at your side, your feet together, just like you do now. Don't start the test until I tell you to do so. Whoop. Don't start until I tell you to do so. What you're going to do is you're going to lift any foot of your choice up approximately 6 inches off the ground. Okay. You're going to keep your foot parallel to the ground.
My favorite part of that is she walks that crooked line like she's trying to walk it straight.
I got another part to the clip. That's not it.
I was gonna say we gotta do more than that. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I wish she was drinking because I want some.
You have to count them out loud. Remember your hands down your side.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, you can stop. I mean, how much have you had to drink today?
I don't know.
All right. What did you drink?
Vodka.
Okay.
Sorry.
Look, we're just doing our job, so.
No, I know you are.
All right, so like this time we have to place you on the rest or drive more on top of the back. Also have to do.
You said.
Step back. I know, that's okay.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Man.
She's a moron. Because, like, if I'm in my driveway and that vehicle off, sir, go find you something else to do.
Yeah, right.
But that's child endangerment too.
Like getting arrested for drunk driving in your driveway is nuts.
But that's also child endangerment too. They can charge her with that too.
Did you charge me while I was operating the motor vehicle? Did you pull me over, or did I make it to this drive? Did I?
Oh, so now you're one of those types. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those types. You trying to cuff me? Listen. Hell yeah, you better come correct. Period. I'm not giving you no benefit of the doubt. You are trying to arrest me. It is your job to prove the
young
case,
child
not
in
mine.
her car. Body cam video here shows the moments the 45-year-old elected official was approached by police, given a field sobriety test, and then arrested. Tonight, a community meeting in Lumberton about it all. Ellen Kaloje, you were there, but Mayor LaPlaca was not.
Yeah, that's right. A few dozen people turned out tonight to voice their concerns about the mayor and her future. Things got a bit heated, but as you said, the one person not here tonight
was the mayor.
I'm embarrassed right now. I really am. I'm embarrassed to say that I live in Lumberton and that this has been allowed to go on.
Over and over again, residents came up to demand Mayor Gina LaPlaca resign.
Enough is enough. I'm telling you right now, this is not acceptable.
They gave the township committee an earful about why they say the mayor can no longer serve the town.
And so I'm not concerned about what happened. I'm angry.
Mayor LaPlaca was charged with DUI and endangering the welfare of a child after getting arrested on St. Patrick's Day. Body cam video shows LaPlaca's arrest in front of her home with her 2-year-old son in the back seat.
We're just getting reports that you were swerving all over the roadway.
Sources tell Fox 29 LaPlaca's blood alcohol content was nearly 4 times the legal limit, so high that police thought she needed to go to the hospital.
Wow.
Censor her and vote no confidence. You have it right now. Go do it.
Show our town you are looking out for our best interest.
Residents demanded the committee take action immediately, and one man behind a recall petition asked each committee person how they would vote.
Committeeman Benson, would you sign a recall petition of Mayor Gina LaPlaca?
Yes.
Lori Fay, Deputy Mayor, would you sign a recall petition of Mayor LaPlaca?
Yes. Each person answered yes, and without hesitation, 3 said they'd ask her to resign immediately.
She should take the time that she needs, but yes, she does need to resign and step down. We need to move the town forward, and this is not helping situations. I was trying to move the business forward.
And then after all that, after an executive session behind closed doors, the committee decided to censure the mayor and slap her with 3 ethics violations. Now, the man behind the recall says he will give the mayor a week to resign. After that, he will file a letter of intent with the solicitor, and that will officially recall the mayor. So we'll see what happens in this continuing, ongoing situation here in Lumberton. Back to you guys.
All right, Ellen, thank you.
Yeah, she's toast.
Yeah, but if you're a mayor, you're supposed to get drunk and have a driver. Like I thought, if you're a mayor, someone drives you around.
No, that's governor level. You're too low ball. That's they're not in the budget for mayor.
Oh, that's more like governor. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, never mind. She's not. Yeah. But freaking the Penguin had that in Batman Returns. He was the mayor.
True. Well, yeah, but when you're a super villain, that's
super villain. Yeah, you could have all that.
We live in the day and age of Uber. Like,
right.
See?
Like, there's a way
you could have used a company card to pay for your Uber, even if
Right.
Yep.
Or a husband.
I
Where's her
just want to
husband?
know.
Exactly.
What the hell, dude?
But see, I told you, child endangerment. They get you. They're very serious about that stuff.
I want to know more about that because, like,
what was the verdict?
You were in your driveway when this took place. So how did they
the verdict for her from the police or from the council? What they're going to do?
Yeah, the council, all of that.
What they're gonna do is they give her a week to resign, and then they're gonna recall her, which means they're gonna force her out. She'll be fired. She'll step down. So they're telling her you have 1 week to resign out of your own respect for you. If you don't, then we're voting you out. They're gonna recall her. They're removing you from that position. Okay, they're trying to give her one last chance to be the big person to step down gracefully, or otherwise they're gonna,
All right, this happened in April. No, March.
Yep. I remember now.
Let's see what happened. LaPlaca has stated she will not be resigning from her position.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband, Jason Carty, says she's in an inpatient treatment facility and on a path to recovery.
Mm-hmm.
He also urged the public to leave her alone, saying she is not a big city mayor and is focused on getting better.
Boy.
that's the part. That's the part of it that bothers me. Like, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
Why couldn't she just be drunk? Why is it now? Oh, she has to go to rehab. It's a whole problem. Why couldn't it just be? I mean, and I don't mean no harm, and it doesn't make it right. But people do it all the time. They don't go into rehab. I mean, they get the slap on their hand and then they move on with life. If she's going to rehab, is she going to get to keep her job?
Right. Well, no, and the reason, why the reason is because it's the child endangerment part. That's why they force her to go there. That's the sole purpose, ultimately. That's what they look at.
I have an update. I'm on her Facebook.
Ooh.
Let me clear my screen.
He should tell her what's up.
Should it?
Tell her, get an interview. Tell her, we got to get her on the show to tell her side of the story.
Yeah.
I feel like she was set up by someone else.
May 16th, her last post. At last night's township committee meeting, I was humbled and grateful to return to my seat on the dais. Below is a statement I provided regarding my recent absence. The full video of the meeting is also available at the link below. Thanks to all who offer support and prayers. My name is Gina, and I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. Today marks my 59th day of sobriety. This past weekend, I was discharged and
good for her.
Completing 54 days of inpatient treatment. I'm now undergoing intensive outpatient treatment 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. So she is indeed Still the mayor of Lumberton, New Jersey.
Yeah, so that might have been a condition if she did. That might have been another reason. The condition was if she does the rehab program, they let her keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
I mean, good for her. Good for her. That's a huge. That's a hard thing to admit and to step forward. But
yeah, it took me
at
a
least
hard time to admit I have a drinking problem. And
yeah,
it is hard.
Well, you know what? Like I said, as most everybody knows, I didn't say why. I've had my brush with experience where I've learned a lesson from that too. Not that that really was. I shouldn't say it's not my fault, but I've been on that side of things where I've learned, you know what? Sometimes you just got to take that lump and you move forward. And I could sit there and cry about it and complain about it, but at the end of the day, I wanted to get ahead of it and move on from it. I didn't want that to hold me down. So. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't a rough patch. I've shared a little bit about that. It was a rough experience, but at least, I was able to say, I did a lot of thinking and I said, you know what, whether it's a career mistake or a one-time mistake, I want to get ahead. I want to change that now. So it doesn't become a reoccurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
So good for her. I give full kudos, full hand to her. Good job. Again, get ahead of it, acknowledge it, what she's doing. That's wonderful. Don't sugarcoat it. You made a mistake. You want to fix it and move on. And now you get back to your job and you regain the support of your town, because I think that's leading by example. You're showing that you're willing to do what it takes to come back for that. And not many people do that. So that's huge for her. So congratulations on the sobriety, madam, and good on you for doing that.
Indeed.
I don't agree with that. I think the world is made up of a bunch of morons. Like, just because she's behind the wheel, for real.
That's something
Because
perfectly.
and I that this happens every time something comes up with drinking. Like, we see a person one time drunk and out of character, and then we automatically assume that they need rehab. Well, drinking.
People think that about me. Exactly.
Drinking may make you act out of character. That's the whole thing. Why
That's
is
true.
it that they just had a great time? And in her case, what she did was terrible, of course. But how we don't know that, like, she just drunk on St. Patty's Day, doesn't normally drink. This is just the one time she decided, now, you got to go to rehab. Rehab for what? To rehab what behavior? Celebratory drinking once or 2 days out of the year? Like,
but she chose to get behind the wheel of a car with a child. That's where
that's the point. Like, you all.
But what are you rehabbing if I only drink for St. Patty's Day and on New Year's? What are we rehabbing?
Right.
Because
she did make a terrible decision to be intoxicated,
right,
operating a motor vehicle. But when you're rehabbing somebody from something, that is changing a behavior. Like, what I'm saying is, was rehab warranted? Like,
I mean, in her position, I think it was, because how are you the mayor of a town setting an example driving drunk with the 2-year-old in your car?
In the car.
What I'm saying
that's the point.
And you're actively prosecuting other people for DUIs.
Exactly.
So
now, if
she has to take one.
You made that last part up. You made
no.
She has
to take one on the chin.
Mayors don't prosecute anyone for drunk driving.
No,
but they're the driving force behind that, though.
Yeah,
they
hired the DA who does.
Yep.
But they don't prosecute anyone.
But that's coming from their office.
Hires the people who does.
Either way. One moment
BS flows downstream.
And I'm sure even the people on this panel has had a drink.
But we're not mayors.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, that's her job title. If you were pulled over for the one time you may have been drinking and driving, is that warranted for Dini to go to rehab? No, because Dini don't even drink like that.
To save my job, I think so.
Now, if it came down to saving your job, but even that, to me, is idiotic on the job part, because it's just, to me, like, what
not
are
really.
we
I think
if they don't have
it's taking accountability as a leader. It's taking accountability and saying, hey, you may not even have a problem, but to save face, to save her job, her cute little neighborhood she stay in.
Exactly.
I think,
Let me put it this way.
You gotta say things that you don't really mean.
That's where it leads back to me saying humans are morons. Because
Yeah.
all of this now is not for the purpose of really
Now wait.
rehabilitating the purpose.
I agree with that.
It's more so of an ego trip. You
Now
need to
wait.
bow before all of us because we saw you drunk out here operating this vehicle and you're supposed to be a leader. Not
Now
that
wait.
she really has a drinking problem because we don't know that. We
Now
just
wait.
know that
Now
on
wait.
St. Patty's Day, her
You got a
drinking
point.
limit was
He
4
does.
times the legal limit.
But let me
That's all
say
we know.
this. Let me say this. Wait a minute. I'll put it in SK's neck of the woods. First of all, I will say she probably wouldn't have gone to rehab if the child wasn't involved, but that was a big stickler. However, I saw this recently. There was a teacher that was caught by the school board. She brought alcohol. She was drinking on her way to teach the class, and she was caught by the students.
That's different. You can't compare these two situations because in our contract, it says we cannot be teaching while we're under the influence of alcohol or any substance for that matter.
Well, my
That's a
point
whole
is
different
this.
thing. This lady
My
wasn't
point
on the
is
clock.
this, though. But my point is this. Just like the mayor getting behind the wheel, the teacher knew that. She said, she said to when they brought the security in because the principal was in there saying, first she said, well, I drank the night before. Okay, well, that's not at the school. You're on your own time.
You can't
You're on your own time.
those because at the end of the day, me sending that teacher to rehab is just because you're on your way to work and you got to have a drink.
Right.
You gotta have a drink.
That indicates somewhat of a dependency or a pattern. This was a holiday that's designed for drinking.
Well, so was this in this case. In this case, so is this teacher. Same thing.
No, it's not because the teacher was on the way to work. I don't care what holiday it was. You're on your way to work. So that's different. This lady was on her off time. She wasn't acting it wasn't saying she was on her way to the city hall. Yeah. She was partying. It was a partying holiday. It's just like being
but she still had her kid.
And she got behind the wheel of a car. You're not advocating drinking and driving, right?
I'm advocating drinking and driving, but what
apparently she hit something and ran.
She did. Yeah.
Oh, she did crash.
All of those are things.
She hit something that kept going. She was like, my mirror. Oh man, that's terrible.
That happened. D, have you ever had a drink, got behind the wheel of a car, and brushed up against a mailbox?
Never.
No. Anybody on this panel ever got drunk or had a drink and brushed up against it? Okay.
No.
Does it mean that you need to go to rehab because you had a tipsy moment and you banged into the stop sign on the mailbox?
Man, you gaslighting drunk drivers everywhere, man. Come on.
No, I'm not gaslighting drunk drivers everywhere. I'm just saying, I'm not, whoa. Because I'm being misconstrued. I'm not saying the drunk driving was right. What I'm saying is, because I think we're just throwing this word out and we don't know what it means. What are we rehabilitating?
Right. She's not an alcoholic.
Incident.
Rehab is when you're addicted.
That's the whole point I'm pointing at.
It's an isolated incident, right?
And the part that's what I was saying, the part that gets me when it comes to drinking is anytime you hear of any official or any person drinking, they immediately follow it up with, let's put them in rehab. But what if it was just a one time I was drunk and my boob happened to pop out? I don't have a behavior or a pattern of always drinking, but on this one time, bottomless mimosas at brunch, you happen to catch on camera a funny moment from me.
Right. Well, and again, the problem,
the
only reason
rehab was needed.
No, well, and again, it wouldn't have happened. I can guarantee you it wouldn't have happened, except they made a point of she had a child in the car as child endangerment.
I understand all of the reasons. I definitely understand the reasons, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make it smart still.
No, maybe not.
Make it smart.
But that's just the reasoning behind it. If she was by herself, they would have ticketed her and that would have been the end of it. They wouldn't have gave her rehab unless, whatever.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
To me, you're rehabbing her from the alcohol. If she don't have a history of drinking and driving,
there's no point.
Are you going to rehabilitate her for poor judgment with her kid?
No, there's no point for that.
If she has poor judgment in that area of her life with her kid, I'm sure there's other areas where poor judgment is applied.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Since
no.
we're so concerned about the safety of the child, which is why we rehabilitate her.
True.
Investigate it further.
Man, you know how people do. They
doesn't make.
They're waiting for someone in power to mess up, and they make you pay for it.
Yep, it's like the celebrities. The one time they mess up under the spotlight, everybody points the finger, going, "Oh my gosh, look at this."
And the way for
she
her to
messed
fix the
up.
situation was to go to rehab, whether she was
She
an
messed
alcoholic or
up,
not.
but it's like I don't know if the rehab was needed.
She's in a position that she's supposed to set the standard.
And that's probably what they said. They said if you want the job back, you have to go complete rehab.
Yeah.
That might be.
Yes. So what about the teacher that got caught drinking? Did she have to do rehab, or was that just?
They fired. No, they fired her. They said she violated. They said you knew the deal, like he said. You know the contract. You actively came in drinking.
That's two different things. Like me
So the
showing
thing
up to
about
my
drinking on the
job.
job, I used to drink on the job all the time, but I never got caught. You're not supposed to do it where people could see it. You got to go do it in the bathroom. And you got to go to those little liquor bottles. You know what I'm saying? Then you use breath mints and like certs.
Well, no, what she did was she had it in her normal, like her thermos that she brought into work every day.
Right, dude. That's
she was drinking on the job.
She was drinking on the job. She drank the night before, and then she continued the next day as she was coming in to teach.
Well, that's a different thing. She violated.
And she was a little tipsy in class, which the students were smart. I think they were 6th grade. They were smart enough to know something was.
So they knew she was faded.
Snitches get stitches. So I would have told her.
So they went in because she begged for her job. She's like, I can go to rehab stuff. The principal said no, because again, you read the contract. You were drinking.
Work in that situation.
You were drinking on you're drinking on school property. It's the same thing. He said, I can't. It's out of our hands. The district rule. I can't help you. And they arrested her too. Drinking. The cops took her there too. They called the cops on top of it. So
for what? Drunk in public or?
Because she's on the school property, they don't allow alcohol. They said you can't have it here, and you were inebriated coming in. Like the students saw you. You were actively in your classroom.
And I would have said like, this job makes me drink.
Well, she did. Yeah, she said like, I'm under stress, and she's given all these reasons. Which again, I understand where she's coming from.
I need the vodka.
But if
that's what she said. I understand that
because you can't have a factory job and say, "Oh, this factory stressing me out," so I go home and smoke a blunt. You can't do that. Yeah. So why do you think you can do that as a teacher?
Right, and and the principal said they knew each other, and he said, "I like you," because she goes, "You know what kind of teacher?" He goes, "I can't help you because you knew the rules and you came in, and it's out of my hands now. I'm not a friend now. I'm the superior. I have to answer to the district, and they caught you red-handed. Like, what do you want me to do?" So
she shouldn't have got caught, but she got caught. That's the problem. She was doing it out in the open. Not supposed to.
She wasn't fully. She hadn't, and she admitted, which again I give her credit. She said I was drinking the night before. And again, it doesn't matter then. But she said when I got up, I just had to have the taste for it. Before she left for the house for school, and as she was on the way to school, and then because they tested the thermos, like they could tell. You could. I think it was vodka. Like you could tell. As soon as they smell, it's not water in the thermos there.
They smelled it, yeah.
Yep. So, and he said you brought it on school property, so you know.
That's why you're supposed to take those little vodka shots, you chug them, and then you throw away the evidence. That's how I used to do it. I never got caught. I was on school property also. That school already doesn't exist no more, so it doesn't matter. But I was a student working in the office after school. But man, you have to know the game about how to do it right.
Right.
Leave any traces,
and I mean, she felt bad. Obviously, she broke down because she's crying there. They had her, and the principal's like, listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but he's like, I got a job to do too, and I have to enforce it. And because you did it in front of these 6th graders, like, one thing led to another. It just all went bad real fast. He's like, what? I can't. He said, I really can't. Because I mean, they were cuffing her like right there, like in the conference room away from. They took her out of the classroom, but like they're cuffing her up like right there. The cops took her. So,
that's
and he's just saying. I mean, she's crying, and he's like, it's nothing. He said, I, what do you want me to do? I can't help you. Like, all he said was, I forget what her name was. He said, you knew the rules. He said, and you said flat out here, you chose to come in this way. So he said that went out, that tied my hands up. I had to notify the authorities because you're on school property and drinking in front of minors, and you're trying to teach on top of that when you're inebriated.
I think it screwed up is the drinking in front of minors thing. That was what.
Yep, that's what he said. He said you brought it, and then he said because they took it from her room. He's like, you could smell it. We didn't have to do anything. I opened the lid, and it's it's
vodka.
like, yep. So,
damn.
But yeah, no, I get like for SK's point, I get it. If it's an isolated thing, if you have no history, it doesn't make sense to do the rehab because I mean, what are you going to try to fix? It's like if you're not a drug addict or you didn't do drugs before, what are you trying to?
Yeah.
What are you trying to change?
What are you rehabilitating?
Right. And that's a fair point. I agree with you there. That's an absolute fair point. Yeah.
And once again, I'm not saying that she is just in her practices. She's wrong. But what I'm saying is, was rehab needed?
Right.
Like, I think rehab is frivolously thrown around sometimes.
Well, yeah.
And
For
I
sure.
get it. I get it. They made it a stipulation for her to get her job back, but that doesn't mean that the entity that made her do it to get her job back ain't just as stupid. Like, what are you
True.
rehabilitating? What are you? Because that's a process to
Right.
help a person and help them with transitioning from some sort of
Oh yeah.
substance abuse or trauma, etc. So to
For sure.
me, if there's no type of addiction or abuse, what are we rehabilitating? We're just giving 10-step programs
Yeah.
to people who are fully capable of
Right. It's
knowing,
time wasted.
whatever.
Yeah. It's time wasted. Right.
That's what I'm getting to. Time
Yeah.
wasted,
Time and money
resources wasted.
wasted.
Money wasted.
So
Right.
to
And
me, it
It's
makes
so
it seem. I think it diminishes the credibility of the program
right.
too, because it's like
Well, and think of
you
it.
just
I'll
throw
go.
anybody in there. You're not throwing people who truly have addiction, who truly
That
have a
Well,
trauma.
I was just gonna
the
say
program
it
is a
takes
cash
away
grab
from those
anyway.
people. You're taking
Oh,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
people that really need it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I agree with you on that for sure. Yeah, that's a fair
Yeah.
point.
The lesson of the story is if you drink in public, don't get caught. And if you drink on the job, don't get caught. I used to drink on the job all the time. I never got caught. So I know it can be done.
Well, you know what's funny? Another good example of that. I think about this because this made headlines too. There's two of them. You could talk Shia LaBeouf and you could talk Jared Padalecki,
That's right,
two
you can talk-
actors.
Yeah.
Because they got drunk and they were out publicly, and obviously they drew attention because it's public intoxication. So if you're gonna do that, don't go out and start, and then at least LaBeouf's case, he's fighting with cops as they're arresting him. It's like, oh, I'm not drunk. You're clearly inebriated, but you went out publicly and
But the craziest part to me is about all of these cases. These people that we're talking about are well within a tax bracket in which they could have ordered a private car service of some sort.
Exactly. That's the point I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. They could have called someone.
You know, like
get them home.
I don't know. I can kind of understand it for people in certain tax brackets to try to take that chance. You know what I mean? Because maybe you're in a bad area or you just don't have the funds to pay for commuting.
Yeah, there is
I can
that.
get there. But when you're high profile like a mayor or a Shia LaBeouf, and I get
when
it,
you have money.
I'm not passing judgment.
The mayor could have.
But I'm saying that one would think.
You would think.
that when you have that much money,
yeah,
the last thing you're worried about is getting a DUI.
Exactly. Like you can get a freaking limo.
But I've never been in that
actor.
situation, so I mean,
Well, let's hope you're not. We don't want to find out that way.
Yeah, and you could drink in the back of the limo because it's like a separate area.
Yeah, that's different. It's like prom night all over again. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
like they should have like a drinking
Prom
limo.
night?
Never mind. I never went to prom, so I don't know. I've seen a lot of movies.
Like alcohol and minors. What kind of?
No, listen. Hey, listen. I was homeschooled. I was a class of one. What prom am I going to? Like,
I don't know.
Crazy about tonight that I'm sober. If you notice, I'm not drinking. Isn't that nuts? Because you know how
I know you're painfully sober. That's impressive. Though. I'll give you credit.
I haven't
there.
drank the last shows that we did. I think only one. The first show.
The one you did.
When I kept going to the bathroom, that's why I don't do it no more.
Well, I did too. I held it until after the show, though. I went later. I emptied my Camel.
It ruins the shows because I got to keep leaving. So
no, you know what I did? I held it in. I had Camel bladder. I just emptied it all out when I was done. I was in the bathroom for like 5 minutes, but
it's like it's like one huge piss. Dude,
but the
like,
show has to go on. So
so like for podcasts, I try not to drink that much unless it's Drinking with the Wizard. They'll have like a beer. That's like,
but that's a theme show, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, I try not to drink no more during podcasts. See, I think I did better now because I have to leave every 5 minutes. Usually, I gotta leave like 4 or 5 times during the show. Yeah, it's like I'll be back.
That's fair. That's fine. It's good.
Well, guys, it is game time. And
yay!
Tonight's game is Can You Name These Old Things?
Oh, boy.
Which I am the current champion. Woo-hoo.
The champion.
Of course. It said name
with
all things.
Currently, but not long term.
Yeah. But I'll be back next week.
All right, SK. Okay.
I'm taking it. Bring it on.
The championship. Guys, I gotta go.
Ding, ding, ding.
I almost beat him the last time.
Almost doesn't count, though.
I was just going to say that. All right, here's our order. Sam Crow is first, followed by Poegosi, then SK Mac, and I'll bring
Poegosi
up
gone.
He just jumped out. He might come back. Hang on. He might have had a glitch.
I thought he was saying he's go catch us next week. I thought I heard
I
him
didn't
say that.
Oh, did he? I didn't hear him. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of game time, so
No, that's all right. All right, well then
scratch him out.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be listening out just in case he pop back in.
A heavy hitter. Here we go.
All right, are you ready, Sam Crow?
Ready.
How many of them is it?
Let's see. Here we go. Oh, a toaster.
No.
No?
No.
Toaster.
Yes, it is. Get out of here.
What are those, SK?
A thimble.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Rolodex.
Gosh, back in the day, yeah.
Sam Crow.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I've seen it, but
Yeah.
All right.
SK Mac.
I think we did this one once before.
Yeah. I would say a wait.
Nope. Film camera.
Sam Crow.
Y'all did hear me say roller skate.
Oh, a date book.
Nope.
Calendar book, date book. It's the same. Filofax? What's a Filofax?
That's
Mac.
a Filofax. Accordion. Accordion.
Yeah, we definitely did this one before, but yeah.
Harpsichord.
That's a good guess, yeah.
No, it's a coffin.
Harmonium.
Sam Crow.
That's an iron.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. SK Mac.
Movie film projector.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Telephone.
No.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Crow.
A spinning top. I love those things. They're hard to do, but
Oh, a wooden Beyblade.
SK
yeah,
Mac.
right.
FM AM radio.
Transistor radio.
Those are before television existed. Yeah.
A metronome.
Yep. Mom still has hers on the piano. Yes, it is. Mom still has hers on the piano.
Sam Crow.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's a calculator.
It's not.
Yeah. It threw me for a minute.
Mac.
A scythe.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a sickle. They are different.
Oil can.
Nope.
Oh, it is.
Sam Crow.
Ooh, bonus picture. Oh, that's a shoe shine.
It's not.
They won't tell you, but that's a shoe shine. I know that. None of them actually. That's not true. Well,
This may be the last ad you
no, it won't be the last ad. I see plenty of them. They always tell you that. It's not true.
because with the free ad block extension from Capital.
You know what? The ad blocking is getting smarter. YouTube does that. You have to turn it off now if you want to watch YouTube. I didn't realize that's what was too late for that. Well, not too late, but I got warned about that.
The bonus, I believe, is a meat cheese slicer.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh, it looked like a. Well, it's hard to see. It looked like a shoe shine. At least they said what it was.
Okay, the score is Sam Crow with 4, SK Mac with 5, and Dini with 4. Dang, we have a new champion.
Darn, so close.
Dini.
Hey, Mac.
That's all right. I'm waiting for SK to do another sports one. That's gonna be fun.
See, I remember on the last screen while I was asleep, as Sam Crow said, no one matches his intelligence.
Did I say that? I don't remember, honestly. Did I say that?
Yeah, I watched the playback.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't remember in all honesty.
Wow, and he just doubled down on it. Okay.
Okay.
That is your intelligence. Boy, you are comparable to a principal of a home school.
Whoa, you want to go there, do you? Okay. All right.
You're a league all on your own.
Okay. All right.
Because you didn't have to insult us. You did not have. No one told you to insult us like that.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Playback.
I had to be. Listen, you weren't. I had to be SK because somebody had to do it because you weren't there for a while.
You never said those words though. You made it up. You're
I
projecting.
was sleeping. He said it. He said no one matches his intelligence.
Well, I don't remember. We said a lot. It was late. I don't know. I can't remember a lot.
Can't wait till Swift comes back on the show because then he'll have someone of equal intelligence.
You know what? To be fair, though, I'm waiting for it because I almost had Swift on that sports show. I'm going to take him. I know I can take him.
What did you tell us, Mr. Smart Guy? Almost doesn't what? Count.
Doesn't count. I know. That's why I want a rematch. I know I can take him.
You don't even have that many champion belts.
Listen. If between me, you, and Swift in a sports competition, who do you put that up with as far as a sports trivia?
I'm not going to participate.
Exactly my point. So,
but sports doesn't set the gauge for smarts or intellect.
True, but I've also I have respect.
Trivia and other questions do.
Well, no, but long time, and Swift, I count him as a peer equal because he knows a lot like I do. I can go way back. I mean, 20-some years, 25 years. So, and he's good. So I'm itching for that title. I want a rematch because I know I can do it.
Whatever.
Soon come. Soon come.
Yep. Good things come to those who wait.
Right, soon come. All right, guys. It is 11:11. Make your wishes.
Oh man. Well, okay, it's 12:11, but I'll pretend it's 11
for you.
Okay. 12:11.
For us normies, it's 11:11.
Right.
So whatever the universe is trying to tell you, take it in stride.
Go with it. Take it in stride. Don't fight it. Go with it.
Go with it. Unless it's something bad.
That's true.
That is true. Pray.
Yep. Every day.
Just accept what's coming. It could be a new beginning, as they say. With 11:11. Could be a new path for you.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave. All right, guys. That is our show. Unfortunately, we won't have a show next week. But the week after, we will be back.
Okay.
Got something to do next Thursday, but I just had to come back for this month in June.
Let y'all know we still here.
Yeah, because I missed the homies and
Yep.
Squad.
Well, we will.
Still here.
We will do another. Then we'll do another episode of Hanging with the Homies next week, so you guys can check that out. We will do that.
Send me the date, man, so I could make sure I'm available.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll be a different night. We'll check you. We'll hit you up. I want to get everybody on. We can. So yep. But we'll definitely do that for y'all. So if you guys want to check that out, so you'll have some entertainment next week. Then
make sure it's in advance though. So I'll know.
Yep, we'll do. We'll talk it over. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Peace out and have a wonderful night.
Good night, all. Happy Friday too for those. Well, it's Friday now, but yeah. Enjoy the weekend.
Peace.
Peace out.